And welcome back to the Silver and Black Radio Podcast. And guys, I'm your host. I'm Raider Will. I got my girl Val. What up, girl? I got my boy and my co-captain of this ship, my boy Matty B. TBH West Coast. Let's go. Hey,
fam.
Let's get it. Guys, on today's podcast, we're missing a couple of members. We're still all out doing, spring break and enjoying time. You guys will see a special coming out with Gunny Raider. And, you can guess where in the world is Gunny Raider this week. As in last week, he was in Rosarito Beach. And this week, he is in some other beach somewhere in Mexico. And you'll get it on that special. So, guys, hey, on this episode, we're going to talk first 3 rounds. We have picks. A lot of people are saying, hey, we're going to have Michael Penix. We're going to have this guy. We're going to have this guy available. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of different things. So we're just going to sit here and talk about it. We're going to say, hey, what are these possibilities, the things that we're seeing, et cetera, et cetera. Also, guys, we've had a lot of signings since our last show. We picked up the running back out of the Vikings, Madison. We picked up John Jenkins. Adam Butler.
No. Is it Adam Butler?
Yeah.
Adam Butler.
So we re-signed Adam Butler. Okay. And we've picked up a couple other pieces, and there's still a lot of free agents out there that we can see picking up and adding to the draft and adding to our team. And the last thing we're going to end it up with is with our own Val stories, baby. Because if you guys don't know, Val has some legendary stories and legendary weekends. And we got some insider information on this story. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned for that one. Then we're going to definitely wrap up with that one. But hey, guys, first round. Raiders have got the 13th pick right. With the 13th pick, a lot of people are expecting us to go after a quarterback. But let's be realistic. A lot of people are saying that in the first 5 to 6 picks, 5 of them are going to go. A lot of people are saying, hey, New York might trade up to get in a better position to pick one of those guys. A lot of people are saying the Broncos might trade up. The Vikings might trade up to be that team that goes, hey, there's top 4 teams. Okay? So I'm going to give you guys a couple scenarios, and I'm going to see what you guys think of what we should do. In scenario number 1, let's say, hey, we already know that, hey, the number 1 pick is probably going to be Caleb Williams. Number 2 is going to either be Jaden Daniels or Drake May. Okay. So we know those 3 are off the board. If we're at 13, there ain't no way we're touching those guys. Okay. So that means, hey, you got Bo Nix. Okay. You have Michael Penix. And I think J.J. McCarthy. Okay. Now, a lot of people are saying J.J. McCarthy has moved up the boards and is going to be a top 10 pick. So let's say J.J. McCarthy comes off the board. A team trades up. Let's say Minnesota, who's right now, I think, a real big front runner because they picked up another first-round pick to move up, packages their deal, they trade. They get J.J. McCarthy. That means the Broncos are still on the board. And they're probably going to end up, they're supposedly looking at Bo Nix. So that leaves us with Michael Penix. At 13, at number 13, are you willing to pull the trigger on getting Michael Penix? Or are you going to say, hey, I'll wait. I'm going to draft the best player available. And I'll gamble that we can get this guy either later in the first or in the second round or get a quarterback in free agency. Man, what's your thoughts on that? I'll be like, do you pull the trigger? I mean, I can see why a lot of people are saying, go get the guy. Get your guy.
No. And the reason why I say that is because I don't see him being worth that draft pick. Is for me, it's almost like a reach, almost like a Cleveland Farrell, almost injured player. Well, I mean Cleveland. He's an injured player. He's prone to injuries. He's coming off of a really bad injury right now. 13 is kind of a high spot to pick that guy. Yeah, he moved up the draft boards and he's good and accurate with his arm. But I'm going best player off the board at 13 if I got to stay at 13. The only reason that is because I'm building for the future at that point. And we picked up, I think, Aiden O'Connell. And I know a lot of people, and I know there's people on the show too that don't like me saying Aiden O'Connell because, of everything that it showed last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel Aiden O'Connell and Garner Minshew are going to push each other. They're gonna get the best out of each other, and I think AP is gonna get the best out of them. So even if we missed out on Penix, if he went late in the first round, I could even see us moving up in the late part of the first round to pick him up. But 13 is just too high to pick Mike.
Okay. Val, if you're in the front office right now, and I say, hey, you know what, Lady Val, it's your call. What do you say? Do you go, hey, do you go best player available, or do you go and you say, hey, you know what? I think we need to take this risk.
I mean, I would say we get somebody like the best person available because I mean we can always add. I mean, even if our quarterback isn't all that great, I mean, look at our defense. If our offense can at least stay on top of it, you know what I mean? Like to help out and until quarterback grows and molds into where he's needed, or why not?
No, I agree with you there. You're saying, hey, you know what? We're going to build around the team. We're going to fill in others' holes that we got with players that are available that are of that caliber. Because at 13, that's your first round draft pick. That's a pretty high pick. And you need that guy to produce. If you go and say, hey, Michael Penix, you come in at 13 and he's a total bust, like Cleveland Farrell was not a total bust, but he
wasn't worth that pick.
The number 4 pick.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I wasn't saying he was a bust. I was just saying that he wasn't worth the pick when we reached out.
So that's why I agree with both of you guys. I mean, like, we have to look at it and say, hey, and I'm looking at the big picture of the team, right? We need a quarterback, but if you look the whole right side of our offensive line, right guard, you need a right guard.
So if we pick up a right guard, okay, say we pick up a right guard and we don't go quarterback, what we're doing is creating our offense. We're building on our offensive line. So we build on our offensive line. And I say this a lot, too. If you have a good offensive line, you're going to have a decent you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not accurate. But if you get Aiden O'Connell in the back, he's accurate with the ball. Yeah, he had some bad throws last year, but he's a rookie, 4th-round rookie. We're not expecting everything. But get him behind a decent line, give him a full off season. You guys are going to be like, Aiden O'Connell, that's our quarterback. Watch.
Well, and Matt just said something that's true. A quarterback that has a lot of time in the pocket is a quarterback that can be super effective. If you look at it, all the quarterbacks that have time, they look good. I mean, like Brock Purdy in San Francisco. He's not the shiniest tool, but he looks good because the offensive line is able to create a pocket. They're able to say, hey, you know what? We need to run the football. Give it to McCaffrey. Boom, they pound the rock. So if we're looking at it like that, I say, hey, bring in a right tackle, bring in that right guard, and I got some names in mind, okay, that I can say, hey, these are key guys. But at 13, who I would like to see, okay, if he is available, I'm going to give you guys a name, an actual name, okay? I'm going to go with the right tackle out of Alabama, Latham. I really like him. I think that he is a guy that's going to be pro ready. I think he's going to be a guy that comes in and can come and play from the first day because he's played in the SEC. And I also like the guy from Penn State, the left tackle. I can't pronounce his name for the life of me. Unike or something like that. But that guy is another guy that I can see, hey, you know what? You can play right tackle, you can play left tackle. And Colton Miller's getting older, and you bring in a guy like that. Now, a lot of these guys can play a lot of positions. So maybe we bring in the guy from Oregon. That's super athletic. You know, he can play inside and he can be a pulling guard. So that's, I think, a great idea is to go offensive line with that first round.
So I like the Troy Futanu. That guy can move across the line. He can play center, he can play guard, he can play tackle. He is natural tackle. He can play all the positions. And he's a big dude. You know, he can push people around. You know what I mean? So that's the guy I would really like to take if he felt he was.
So you want to see, okay, so you're with us at first in the first round, do you go corner or do you go
So this draft is deep with him. And I think we can get a decent cornerback in the second round. Maybe even in the third round.
So I'm going to tell you something else that's quite interesting with this. It's deep at right guard, right tackle, and corner. All positions of need for the Raiders.
Yep.
Okay. So if you guys are on the thread, we have a bunch of free agents, right, that are still on the market. If they said they want to bring, and if you guys have been listening, okay, they want to bring in another corner on the other side, but a corner that I think they want to bring in a senior guy. I don't think they want to draft. A lot of people keep saying, hey, Terrion Arnold from Alabama.
The corner?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, see, I can't. And the reason why I sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But,
Yeah.
Man, we missed so many times on corners in the first round that I'm kind of biased about reaching that far on a corner.
And I get what you're saying. So I think that's where it's key. And I'm telling you right now, the Raiders have said that they have not made all the splashes that they plan on making. So that tells me that there's offers out to these free agents. There's some guy that they're trying to bring in, and in my opinion, it's a defensive back.
I think it is too. And I think has Stephon Gilmore, has he been picked up yet? Do you know?
I don't believe so.
I kind of like that guy. Like if we were to bring him in as a veteran, you know, like to kind of coach guys. He still plays tough, you know. He's a lot better than Marcus Peters. You know, he still goes after the ball. You know, he's a little older. You know, he's on the older side of his career, but he's a guy that I really kind of like to bring in to kind of mentor people. If we were to bring in a younger defensive back in the later round.
So, okay, you are absolutely correct. And here's another thing. Okay, if we look at it, okay, the top, he is available.
Yes.
Stephon Gilmore.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Jamal Adams, safety, is available. Tre'Davious White, corner.
Tre'Davious White just got signed. He's no longer.
Oh. Then, if you're looking at that,
Jamal Adams is a safety, so I wouldn't really go.
Justin Simmons.
He's a safety. You don't need safety.
Xavier Howard.
I could go with it. I could go with an X out. I could do an X out on the team. The only reason I definitely would go over Stephon or Gilmore over Howard. And just because I think he's played a little bit better than Howard in his career. And I think he's got a little bit more of that bet savvy kind of attitude. You know, I'll help you out. You know.
I can see what you're saying.
You see what you kind of get what I'm saying? I don't know really how to put it in words, but that's kind of how I see him. I don't really see. I see Howard more as like I'm gonna ask for a little bit more. I'm not gonna give as much as somebody I could get for a little bit less, with a little bit more age.
So here's my thing, okay? I'm actually on the different boat. I like Howard more than I do Stephon Gilmore. Now, I think Gilmore, you're absolutely correct. Gilmore is a guy that he has more star power. And if you're talking about a guy that, like, hey, that's that dude, he's that dude, but he's getting older now. And I feel like when you get older, like, yeah, you have a lot of savviness to you and stuff like that, but you're eventually going to lose a step.
No, and I'm not saying that he hasn't lost a step and that he won't lose a step. I just think that he's got more of the attitude to help the younger guy, to help bring him up. I think he's got that more of that in him than I see in Howard. I see Howard being more kind of not necessarily he's a better player than Peterson, but kind of the same attitude as Peterson. That's kind of how I see Howard.
I get what you're saying.
No knock on it.
No, and I get what you're saying. You're looking at it, though, as I'm saying, hey, I want to bring in another guy that is not so old that, you know what, we're not getting the best years out of him. Because Howard is still in his prime. Like, he's still at the top of his career. So you can bring him in, okay? Right now, I'm pretty sure the contract that he's looking for, he's not getting. So you're probably going to save a pretty penny there. And you're going to say, hey, I can bring this guy in because I'm telling you right now, Terrion Arnold won't be available in the second round.
No, he'll be gone in the top of the bottom of the.
So, I mean, like, if he's not going to be available, you lock that up, okay? And then you draft.
So what about this guy? Do you think Kool-Aid McKinney, is that his last name?
Kool-Aid.
You think Kool-Aid will fall in the second round, or you think he makes it?
Dude,
you think he gets picked up in the first round?
I'm going to tell you like this.
If that dude's in the second round, I wouldn't mind trading up and maybe picking him up in the second round.
A lot of people are going to look at Kool-Aid just because of his name. Yeah, that has to be the coolest name.
What do you think his mom and dad's name?
I don't know.
He's got a cool name like Kool-Aid. His mom and dad probably got it.
Yeah. I mean, like, so, but Kool-Aid is, he has a certain flavor to him.
Yeah,
okay, let's just put it like that.
Punch.
But I don't see a team going up to the second to get him. But he's a second day guy. He's definitely a second day guy. He's not going to go past the third. Because just for the fact that, again, he has such a cool name, okay? And the fact that he can ball. That guy can ball. But a lot of people look at that and they just go like, oh, well, what's that guy's name? Kool-Aid. Oh, it just sticks in your mind.
Yeah, you remember the guy, Taco Carlton? Is that what his name was? The Cowboys? Taco Carlton? Charlton?
Yeah.
Like that dude? I like that dude. His name was Taco.
But, again, so here's my mindset, okay? At 13, we all agree the Raiders, if there's only one quarterback left, right? We should go offensive line, still go best available. Okay. Now, we've drafted our first round pick, which would probably be, we said, O-lineman, something like that, a position of need, right? We're in the second round. Okay. Michael Penix is on the board. Are we all in agreement that if he's on the board in the second round, or Bo Nix, or
if any of those quarterbacks fall to the second round, you got to jump on them. I mean, you have to. I mean, even if it's not your quarterback of the future, because you still want to spend a second round on them. You know what I mean? It's not like you're putting your first round draft pick at 13 on a guy that could potentially be a bust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if he falls to you and that's what they grade him as, is like he could be a second round pick, that's what everybody sees him as, So you're not really losing out, and it's not really too much of a jump. He's like a third round guy. and you're picking him in the second round because he falls to you, then you're it's a question. He's ranked as a day 2 guy, so I see. And we need him. We need a quarterback. So if he falls to you, you gotta go for him, even if he is. So.
Yeah. Val, are you in agreement that if he's there in the second round, we have to take Michael Penix Jr.?
Yeah, I was actually watching, I don't know. I was trying to watch videos today on everybody, so I mean I guess so.
Well, so you say, how about this? If there's a quarterback, do we have to pull the trigger on that quarterback? Because I mean, a lot of people are saying that that's what we need, right? That's a big position of need. But what happens if Michael Penix is not there? What if all the quarterbacks are taken off the board by then?
You go best player available, just like you do in the first.
Yeah.
Do the draft.
I mean, because you could have the best quarterback, but it won't do shit unless like you have a good offensive defense. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. And this is where I have some difficulty, okay? Because I'm going to say it like this. There might be a better player on my board. Okay? On my board, I might think, hey, you know what? Michael Penix is 52. And we're at 44. I got this guy ranked 32. Nobody drafted him. Or 20 or something like that, and nobody drafted him. Do I say, hey, I draft the position of need and say, oh, I'm going to go to quarterback? Or do I grab the best player available in the second?
Knowing Tom Telesco, he's probably going to go, if their quarterback ain't there, and that's not a guy they like, even if it is a quarterback there and it's just a guy that they don't like, best player available. And that's, Tom Telesco. He will get you good players. He's done it before. A lot of people, Chargers and their salary cap was, but he drafted good players from the time he's been there. He's drafted a lot of big name players.
No, absolutely.
Not all of them are on the same team, but I mean, they're all still good players that he's drafted. So I think he's a better GM that we've had, honestly, since Reggie McKenzie, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. That's why I'm saying, I'm like, when you look at his track record, this guy makes really good decisions in the first 3 weeks. I mean, like, he can draft guys that are going to start and make an impact on our team. If he goes and he says, yo, this is not the guy, then I can see what you're saying, and you can come out at the end of the season and be like, look, when we were drafting, the guy available wasn't the guy that we wanted. And we went with best available. It is what it is. Now, my thing is this. If Michael Penix is on your board and you think that he's good enough, then you have to. You have to pull the trigger. Because then you don't have an excuse. Now, if all the quarterbacks are gone, and you're really like, hey, this guy is just not that good, are you willing to go into the third round and try to get Spencer Rattler? Because that's the next type of guy that you're looking at. Okay.
Well, see, if you're going into your third round and you're getting a guy like that, you're getting a guy that. Spencer Rattler's not a bad quarterback. He needs a lot of development. So
I see
if
the
you're
raw.
getting him in the third, if you're getting him in the third round, that's a good pickup in the third round. But, I mean, you're not spending a bunch. You don't have to worry about big contract. You don't have to worry about any of that. You have time to develop him. There's quarterbacks coming out next year too. So I mean, where do we? Even if we don't do good with Garner Minshew or O'Connell this year, there's still good quarterbacks coming out next year. There's no need just because everybody wants to win the Super Bowl this year doesn't mean we got a quarterback around. You know, our whole fucking capital draft the next fucking 5-6 years.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are saying. For us to go get our guy at number 3, okay, Jaden Daniels, right, our guy, at number 2, we're basically going to have to get cut open and have like, hey, just gut ourselves for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, now if AP says we're not done making splashes, and they go out and they address a bunch of needs we need, and they can afford to be like, hey, you know what? I think we are ready to go into this season, you know, full steam ahead. Let's punch them in the face. You know, we got the guys in place that we need. Then you go in and you move up and get your guy.
Yeah.
But until you address those needs, you can't go in and get that quarterback when you have other needs, unless you can address them. You're giving, like you said, you're giving away your whole capital for the next how many years? And it's not just one first rounder; it's multiple first rounders, maybe a couple second rounders, and maybe a third rounder, and a couple late rounders. You never know. You know how the draft shit works. Fucking spin an arm and a leg on that shit. You heard that, Val?
Yeah. Jeez, Val.
So, excuse me.
It vibrated.
Sure.
Because no, listen, I'm trying to text my kid to jump in the shower on my Apple Watch, and so it popped up and it said text like enabled on Apple Watch, like type message here or something.
Yeah, sure.
Notified me, okay? It was not me.
It's the dog.
It was the dog. That dang dog in there. Jeez.
Listen, I'm just saying, I'm no scaredy cat. I would claim it, okay? That's just what I've been taught, okay?
Salute to whoever taught you that.
Brothers.
Shout out to the brothers.
Yes, sir. Oh, man. What were we talking about now? I got
You're talking about your third round.
Okay. Yes. Got me all discombobulated over here. So, Spencer Rattler, okay? We were talking about him. If we go that route, okay, I think, one, we're not a team that's a quarterback away, okay, from winning the Super Bowl. Everybody goes like, it's about, but we can get into the playoffs. Bro, getting to the playoffs is not winning a championship. You know, that's like going in there and like having some premature ejaculation. Straight up. It's like coming out to the dance and being like, we made it to the playoffs. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, if we make it deep into the playoffs, you know, that's a different story. But I mean,
I'm going to tell you like this. Does anybody remember anybody but the top 3 players that were on those Bills teams? No. Nobody cares about number 2. Nobody cares about who lost in the second round of the playoffs. Nobody cares. Nobody remembers. Think about it. No, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying it's more of a it's more of a like you did like think about the Lions, okay? Think about it this year. Not a very good team for 32 years.
Yeah.
You know? How many years? It's been almost over 20 years since we've been good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you tell me that we don't make the playoffs and we make a deep run in the playoffs, that you ain't excited.
You know what?
What I mean? People will remember that because people are going to remember the Lions when they, 32 years ago, and now look at this. This
Absolutely.
is the best year we've had. I remember the year they turned it around, 2023.
And I'm going to tell you like this.
Playoff push. That's when we changed our fucking regime.
And then people get like this, okay? People go like this, though. How many times have we made it to the playoffs and we haven't won? That's going to be the next thing. The next thing is going to be like this. We've been in the playoffs 10 years and we can't win it.
Nope, and that's how it is, and that's what we're just gonna do. But that's when, if you're making the playoffs that many years in a row, you got to find out what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, the Bills made it to the Super Bowl.
The Bills fucking suck.
Well,
it don't matter how many.
Here
times
it's all
they make
fuck
it to
your
the playoffs,
team,
bro.
It's all about the Raiders, bitch. Just so you guys know,
we're not the Bills.
But I'll be like,
Nah, I
again,
get what you're saying.
There's teams that have made it that far, and that's why I said, who do you remember from those teams? Nobody. So again, I go like, hey, I think as Raider Nation, we're super freaking like impatient, and we think we know everything, and then they go like, oh, well, we're just a quarterback away.
Yeah.
I mean, like, didn't you see this? No, man. I'm like, guess what?
Well, a lot of people think we're a quarterback away right now. You know, and it's like, really? Yeah, you want to waste your whole draft capital for 5 years? 3. Probably going to be about 5. It'll be about 3. You know, for one guy that you don't even know for sure if he's going to be a bust or not. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the difficult
how
part.
many first round quarterbacks lately have been that good? Minus Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Do I have to remind people about Jamarcus Russell? I mean, do I have to really bust out that name and be like, yo, a quarterback in the first round doesn't automatically mean you're going to start winning. I'd be like, you got to pick the right guy. I'd be like, Tom Brady was in the 6th round. I mean, the dude looked like a gangly skeleton with skin. And I'd be like, when he ran, he looked like fucking Urkel out there. Like, and that motherfucker won. So don't tell me that, hey, oh, well, I saw this dude at the combine. Bro, I seen Tim Tebow at the combine too, and the dude looks like a gorilla, and he can't play QB. So again, hey, I don't think we need to mortgage our whole future for that. But hey, we're looking at it. We say, guys, this is a possibility. Spencer Rattler coming in the 3rd round. I know it's not going to be looking like the nicest thing for people.
It ain't pretty, but hey.
But if we got some shiny toys to fill in other holes, that we could be really fucking good next year. Like, really good.
And if next year is a quarterback we like, after we fill out a bunch of holes this year, move up next year and get that guy you like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how I see it. I mean, if you're not going to be able to move up this year and fill the holes that you have that you need to fill, you got to wait and do you got to do it sometime. You can't just be like waiting for a quarterback to fall to you.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so sometime in the future, you're going to have to mortgage some quarterback if that's what you want. But you got to have everything else in place before you can do that. You can't just reach on a quarterback and then be like, we're going to Super Bowl. Offensive line, depletions. The back of the fucking defense is fucked up. The fucking, you know what I mean? Receiving core is not right. The running game's not right. I mean.
No,
I think we still need to even address the running back game. I still don't. I mean, I like the addition.
Oh, wait. Val has hands up. Yes, Val.
I know who we should draft.
Who's that?
Gunny.
Hey, Gunny right now, that man, he ran so fast in that 40 that he ran to Mexico.
Yeah, he's still there.
He's still there.
Oh.
Hey, I'll tell you like this. Gunny is worth the 1st round draft pick all day, twice on Sunday.
Yeah, mortgage your future on that guy because he's going to get.
That guy's a winner. Born to win. I'm telling you.
Gunny, but
No. Raiders, make sure to call his agent, Val. Hey, he's well represented. So, hey, and we know that there is no faster man to the bar in a 40 time than Gunny. Nope. Absolutely.
Good.
He is fast. Absolutely fast. And will drink a bottle quicker than any other player on that team. Yeah. But like we were saying, I'm like, we're not a team that is one player away from winning the Super Bowl.
It's gonna take work.
Now, you were making your squinty eyes at your kid. I saw you talking with your facial expressions. That's how I feel when people say, "Hey, we draft this quarterback and we're gonna win." It just doesn't happen like that. We need more
You have to
people.
build up to it. It's not, things don't just happen overnight. Like the Chiefs got lucky with Mahomes. I mean, fuck them. Fuck the Chiefs.
Could you imagine if the Chiefs moved up that much in the drafts and Mahomes didn't work out? How much scrutiny they would be facing right now of, man, you guys moved up that much. And I mean, because this was last year would have been the last year of that draft?
Yeah.
Of that move up, right?
Can I also say something here?
Sure.
Think about that. The quarterbacks that have been moved up for, that people like that, they have a lot of success. Their coaches have a lot to do with who and how much success they have. Andy Reid, every quarterback he's brought into the league has been successful. Okay. Who's another high flying coach that, hey, I know Kyle Shanahan hasn't won a Super Bowl, but the guys under his system, successful. Sean McVay. Guys in his system, Stafford, Goff, successful.
Even Baker Mayfield, man, stepped in a game. Didn't even have to have a playbook.
So when you look at quarterbacks, a lot of their success has to do with the coaches that they have around.
Yeah.
And I think AP
McDaniels. Oh, no, too soon.
I was like, I said coaches, bro. I didn't say like coffee holders or guys that thought that, like,
just a headset guy.
Yeah, headset guy. McDaniels. Gosh. Should get kicked off the show for that. You're out. You're fired. But like the coaches have a lot to do with their success. Okay, and I feel like AP is going to have a lot to do with a lot of the team's success and a lot of our players' success. But he needs to figure out his guy, the guy that he wants, the guy that him and Telesco can agree on and say, hey, this guy is a guy that we're willing to bet the chips on. Because right now what I see is, if you guys have heard a lot of his interviews, is he's going like, hey, man, I'm really depending on him to do his job, to bring in guys that, are suitable. And of course, everybody goes like, oh, that means the Raiders are going to be aggressive. Of course, as a coach, you're going to say, I want 4 quarterbacks in that room that are competing. Shoot, of course, I'm going to say I want 10 DBs that are A1, number 1, that are going to be competing in that room. But I also have to be realistic and say, hey, what happens if this doesn't happen? Where are we going? And I'm sure they're talking every day and saying, hey, you know what? What do you think about this? Well, no. What do you think about that? And I'm sure they're calling other teams to try to move up. But I guarantee you, Telesco isn't trying to be like, hey, well, I'm going to give up my next 3 years of first-round draft picks, second-round draft picks, third-round draft picks for this guy. I guarantee you he's not. I'll be like, as a mark as a GM, that's where you're going to make your biggest mark. Is in your first, second, or third-round draft picks. And he's going to want those so that way he can show what he can do. But, we'll see what happens. Now, let's move into the last part of this show. For da-na-na, 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 the Val story. So,
Oh dear.
Val, we're going to sit here. We're going to interview you right now. So, we heard you was at a casino a couple weeks ago enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Is that correct, Mundo? Do you want to fill
Yeah.
us in on what happened or what you remember, and we can fill in what happened for you?
Hey, I don't know what happened either. I'm new to this too, so fill me in, please.
You know,
Which part?
All of it.
I heard it started with drinks and it started with shots. And then somehow your shirt became the puke bag. And I will let you finish the story.
Okay, no, hold on. So we stayed at Bally's, okay, and our room, it wasn't the greatest, okay? It was dust everywhere. Like dust built up on the lampshades.
So
It's like
Bally's
dust,
where?
huh?
Bally's where?
In Shreveport.
Okay, not recommended. Guys, just so you guys know, Bally's in Shreveport, not recommended by SB
It was
podcast.
dirty. There was a hole in the ceiling. Like, I was like, I'm paying, like a load per night. And it was just bad, okay? The only cool thing was that there was a telephone. It had a cord to it attached and it was next to the toilet on the wall.
Wow, I mean, like, that's definitely fancy there, Bally's,
Like
Shreveport.
if you're bored reading like the magazines or like the shampoo labels, oh, just pick up the phone and call. Like it
No,
was
would have
really
been cooler with that phone as if it was one of the like dial phones.
Oh, I know, but it was a regular phone, like the cord, the spiral cord, and I sat there and untangled the cord.
Yeah. Okay, so
So
we're
so this is Bally's, okay? So we go and we're like, oh, let's go get something to eat after we like gambled a little bit. So we went down the block, like we walked down the block to some place. I forgot what it's called, but I had boot on balls and I was like, oh my gosh, like these are actually good. So then I buy a souvenir shirt. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna take these boot on balls back with me because I know I'm gonna get hungry again, like, because we're gonna go play and drink some more. So we got an Uber from the restaurant over to Margaritaville. And so we walk around, then we end up at the bar, and I had already had a few drinks, okay? A few drinks.
okay.
And I put my bag on the hook underneath the counter. And then I was just like drunk. I was like, take me home. Like everything is spinning. Like I'm ready. Like I'm not gonna drink this margarita. I forget the bag with my boot on balls, and somebody took my boot on balls and the bag with my souvenir shirt. I was so mad. We went back the next day, and they're like, nope, there's nothing here. I'm like, they even took my leftovers. Like, damn. So like that whatever. So we ended up going to Boomtown at the casino next to Bali's. Like we walk over there and we're on the boat and and we started drinking like some more. We already drank earlier in the day. We had
Yeah.
crawfish and we went to the casino and started drinking some more. And we weren't really hitting. So we're like, let's just go to the main bar in the lobby because it's like seniors' night out, right? Like they had like this cover band, all these like older people are like dancing off. I'm like, okay, go get it, grandma. So we end up at the bar and we're like taking shots of Fireball.
This is where the story actually started for me, but go ahead.
Oh, dear Lord. So we started taking shots of Fireball. And these weren't like your normal shots. The lady was pouring up doubles, but it was a freehand doubles. So in this 12-ounce cup, half of it was Fireball. It was like a drink. So we just kept shooting shooting fireball. And I'm trying to keep up with SSJ. Okay.
That's right there. That's like area no go. No go.
And there's like this couple next to us. We're chit chatting. And then all of a sudden I said, hold on. And I go into my purse and I was like, bam. Right. So I'll pull out my coin. He's like, you bitch. Like, he was just like, "How you pull out a coin on me?" And he's like, we're on vacation. Like, nobody here knows what a coin is. I said, no, but you do. Where's your coin at? You know, he's like, damn it. So we ended up getting another fireball. All of these were like literally just, like, they were just drinks of fireball. And, whew, let me tell you, I'm taking a very long break from fireball right now.
Okay.
So we were like, we should probably go back. Like, we're feeling too good. We still have to walk back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we go back. And brother Adrian calls Joe. So he's on the phone outside. And then I go to the little cafe and I'm like, I want some gumbo. Right? I don't even know why I wanted it, but I wanted it. I was drunk. So I ordered me a bowl of gumbo. He's still on the phone. So I tell him, I'm going to go upstairs and eat my gumbo. You enjoy talking to the brother. So on my way up, I stopped by the nightclub. Okay. Dancing.
Okay. With the
I
bowl.
started at the rope, you know, because what was it? What song was playing? Oh, right. Was that right there? Who sings that? Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, so I'm dancing, right? I'm just like literally like it's like middle school, high school back for me again. And so the guy on the rope, he goes, "Hey, it's $15 cover. You coming in?" I said, "I gotta put my food up." And I said, "But I like the beats, right?" I just started dancing, and I was like shaking, my shoulders, like trying to break dance, and I don't break dance. And I'm spinning in circles. He's like, "You know what? If she comes back, she get it for free." I was like, "Woo woo." So I go upstairs. I'm like running. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna change. Like I'm gonna come back downstairs, listen to music. Like the way you do it. Well, anyways, so I go upstairs and I put down stuff and all of a sudden I started feeling sick. And I was like, damn it. I didn't even make it. I didn't want to puke everywhere. So I just grabbed my shirt and I was just like this. So I was like, man. So it's all over me. So I just take a shower, like with all my clothes on. All my
Okay.
and like it was everywhere. Like I didn't even like we had at least 6, 7 of those double shots of Fireball. Okay. And I'm telling you, these were more than double. These were half the dang cup on top of all the alcohol that we drank. And this was like back to back of Fireball. And I
Okay.
was like, damn it. So I just jump in the shower with all my clothes and I just started like washing it. So then I get out and I'm like, man, it was not a good night for me. So I ended up dressing down. I had all my clothes laid out. They're all soaking wet, but they're all laid out. And Joe's not even upstairs yet. He's still outside talking. And so I'm like, I can clean this up before he gets, because if he sees this, he's going to give me crap. So I'm hugging the toilet and here he comes. He's trying to open the door and he comes into the bathroom. He's like, what the hell's going on in here? It's like, he goes, why are your clothes all wet? And I'm like, don't worry about it. He's like, did you throw up? Like, all my clothes. Like, why is everything why is the shower on? He's like, where are you? You don't have clothes on. Like, I was hugging the toilet. And I was like, fuck off, it's your fault, and I'm just like, he's like, what is this over here? Like, I don't know. I guess I attempted to, I don't know, open the gumbo in between
And then
showering, finding clothes, in between. of showering and getting new clothes, I was like, let me take a quick bite out of this, and then having to go throw up again. And then all of a sudden, he's like, scoot over, move out of the way. He kicks me off the toilet. So it's Shit Show Joe's turn. And so I was like, I don't know, man. He kicked me off. So I was like, what the hell? And I ended up having to throw up again. And I just looked at him. He's like, yeah, you thought you can keep up with Shit Show Joe. And I'm like, bro, you hugging the toilet just as much as I am. I I I, I
That's-
had 3 showers that night, and he's just like, you threw up. That's why all your clothes are wet, because you washed them off with the bar of soap that they gave you. Because I wasn't gonna use my like body wash, but I'm like, so I had scrubbed it. Everything was laid out, and he's just like, you're drunk and you managed to do all this and open up your gumbo somewhere in between. And I was like, yeah, but man, I'm telling you, I was like not feeling it. The next morning, I was dying. I was like,
I remember the.
I was hurting so bad. We go to eat breakfast, and I'm like, I couldn't think. And we finally left the hotel like at 1, and we hit up a Denny's on the way, and I was just dying. I was like, please get me water. Please, like I can't eat. Like it was horrible. And he's like, yeah, she tried to keep up with me last night. She failed. And I keep pointing out to him, like, hey, like you were throwing up with me too. Like I'm not the only one, but
Yeah. SJ, when he told me the story, all he tells me is like, yeah, she tried to keep up with me at the bar. We had some drinks, we had some fireballs, and I said, oh shit. She went up to the room, and he's like, next thing I know, Val is naked, puking in the bathroom. And I said, that just sounds like a hell of a time. And he's like, you're gonna have to ask her.
and then we got, I was trying to take a video because I thought it was pretty cool. Like when we first got there, I was like, oh, this is nice. This man was acting like he was playing basketball, and because his shoes were squeaking on the floor, and he says, fuck your team, or he said something. I'll have to send you the video. But then it reminded me, oh, white boys can't jump. It was a good time, but I don't know.
Hey, the man, the myth, the legend, SSJ.
I
That's all
know.
we gotta say. That's our boy. But all right, guys, we want to finish up the show today with letting you guys know that TBH Denver, April the 6th, will be having an Easter egg hunt up there at 5280 Sports Bar. So make sure that you guys go down there and check it out if you guys can, if you guys are in Denver, Colorado. And also, the TBH Northwestern chapters will be having a barbecue August 17th in Tacoma, Washington. So get out there, guys. Make sure you guys get out there, support. Our boy Tony B is the president of, TBH Spokane, so he'll be out there. I'll be out there. Val might be out there from what we heard last time. Maddie B might be out there, and Gunny Raider might be out there. So you might see the whole Silver and Black Radio podcast crew out there, and you guys know you guys will be seeing us all season long, all off season long. So, hey, until next time, go ahead.
Actually, I have one more thing. Give me 2 seconds because it's my son's birthday and he wanted to come on and say hi to everybody. So give me 1 second.
So hold on. We got a mini raider coming on.
Will, I am never drinking again.
I heard that before.
No, I drank in a couple weeks. Like he's like, going fireball, and I just want to barf. It's bad.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come say what's up.
Big birthday guy.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Yeah. How old are you today?
To
Yeah, you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
you.
Happy birthday, dear Noah. Happy birthday to you.
Hey,
Yes.
do you want to lead him in a cheer?
Huh?
Want to lead him in a Raider chant?
Do it.
Yes.
All right.
Ready? How does AP do?
You ready? Let's go. Hey, and until next time, guys, thank you for joining us here on the Silver and Black Radio podcast on Noah's birthday. Hey, we love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. And hey, salute, baby.